Part 15 of When a Broken Angel Was Forced to Marry a Merciless Mafia. Author point of view. After hearing Taehyung's parents' conversation, you didn't leave your room. Next day, Taehyung was persistent to take you to office with him. You refused, but then staying at home with Taehyung's mother gave you shivers, so you agreed. Today, the air in dining room was suffocating. You felt judging stares from Taehyung's mother that rose fear inside you. Why are you taking her to office? Ta, because I want it. His cold answer made his father groan. Taehyung mother, don't take her today. I have planned to take her on shopping. Only you knew the fake love she poured through her words. Ta, no, she is going with me. You sighed, but the insistence from Taehyung mother was an alarm. Ta, let's go, princess. Taehyung was working on his laptop with all his attention while you were staring at him. He gave you few files to go through them, but your mind wasn't working at all. Ta, are you trying to Jan? Huh? Processing his words, your face turned red, but his eyes were still fixed on the laptop screen. Ta, stare me from another minute, and I'm gonna have you exactly on this table. With widened eyes, you raised and raised heartbeat. You buried your head in the files. An hour passed, and you closed the files before walking to him, whose fingers were moving fast on the keyboard. You smoothly settled and put your head on his shoulder. Ta, Jan. That was a warning tone, but who cares? His fingers stopped. Shutting down the laptop, he wrapped you in his arms. Ta, did you read the files? Jan. No, I don't like reading. Ta, then you can type mails. Jan, I don't like typing. He smiled at your cuteness. You just didn't want to work. With you in his arms, he stood and placed you on the table. Ta, remember what I told you? You showed him your confused puppy eyes. Ta, you and this table. We should really try it. You curved while moving up and down when he hovered with his hands on the table on your either side. Jan, Taehyung, Ta, easy. I didn't even touch you yet. No matter how many times you did it. His closeness always makes you nervous. Jan, what if someone see? Ta, I don't care. And that was rough. Getting more aggressive, he leaned for better access. His hand around your small back when your body was falling. Your elbow came in contact with the glass. It fell and water spilled, which was not even Taehyung's last concern. He was too lost in into those battles, but you stopped him and looked back, taking away the files to save them from getting ruined. Ta, just me, princess. His voice was heavy, as if, but your attention was dropped when your eyes fell on that picture. You picked it up that was half wet, but the face was clear enough. Ta, oh, this, Jan, how you have my picture. You were surprised, but he was shocked. Jan, even I have very few photos of my childhood. Taking tissue, you were trying to dry the picture while a destruction was happening inside Taeyong. I will come soon to take what's mine. That letter's words pierced into his heart, and he stared at you. Da, Jan. He whispered your name that you almost missed it. He stepped you down from the table. Da, you will never leave me, right? Fear in his voice made you cup his face in your little palms. Jan. What happened, Taeyong? Da, please. A knock at his door and he felt something constantly hitting in his head. Da, they came. Breathing unevenly, he again whispered as his vision blurred, and he failed to see the person at the entrance. Your hands lowered from Taehyung's and you turned your face towards the door. Taehyung blinked. Everything around him was spinning, and his huge figure fell on the floor. Jan, Taehyung. Screaming his name, you bent down to him. His eyes were closed, and there were sweat droplets on his forehead. Jan, Jimin, help me, please. Sitting near Taehyung and holding his hand, you were waiting for him to open his eyes, who was unconscious for the last 4 hours. How he fainted scared you, and scarier was that he wasn't taken to hospital. He was brought to his home in this room that was new and dark. Leave her alone, he will be fine, Jan. Her soft, sweet words didn't do any good. Taehyung mother, come out. Shan, I am fine. I will just wait. Come out for a while. This time that sounded like an order. After that, she left the room. You glanced at Taehyung, who wasn't waking up, and then dragged yourself to leave the room. With lazy steps and scared heart, you stepped in the lounge where she was pouring a drink in the glass. Jimin just left after waiting for hours. You stopped at a distance. Jan, I didn't want to meet him. Taehyung mother, you are very loyal to my son. Taking glass in her one hand, she walked to you and offered it. Jan, I don't drink. She smiled and attached that to her own lips. Jan, we should take Taehyung to hospital or at least call a doctor. She made a sore face after taking few sips. Since that was your first time seeing him fainted. Yes, in 2 months of your marriage, it happened just today. But did that happen before too? Taehyung mother, it's a kind of routine for us. What? But why? What's wrong with him? He was totally fine. Taehyung mother, you really want to know everything. Putting back the glass, she spat. You heard curiosity kills the cat. Suddenly, her soft tone was changed into cold one. She was moving towards you, and you stepped back, but stopped when your trembling limbs touched the sofa. I was forced to marry my first husband, Ethan. As a sole piece, I had no power to stop him from coming near me, but I couldn't ever love him. She stared into your widened eyes and slightly pushed your shoulder, making you fall on sofa. Then I met Taehyung father, love of my life. Our relationship grew, and I became a mother. But who knows, that was not Ethan's child. You had already concluded that, but hearing it from her own was creepy. We were weak against these mafias, so we waited. Taehyung was 8 when Taehyung father, Ethan, you fell short of air and got on your feet, but she didn't let you run. Taehyung mother, the life I am living is after a lot of hardships, Jan. Do you think it's easy? Your wrist was in her grip. That wasn't soft. Taehyung mother, we wanted him to forget his past so that he can accept him as his father. But I never imagined that it will turn out like this. With other hand, she wiped off your tears. Why are you telling me all this? Her lips pulled up in a sly smile. Taehyung mother, I am telling you the secrets that were buried in my heart for the last 2 decades. Why? To feed your curiosity. Leaving your hand, she walked away. You were forced, struggling to believe what she told you. Man, all the machines are set. Okay, he will be here soon. Their voices fell in your ears, and you turned to look at them, who were now going in the room where Taehyung was. Machines? What scenarios crawled up to your mind, and you ran towards that room, but the door was locked. Jan, open the door, you yelled while banging your hands at it. Jan, what are you doing inside? Open it. You regretted leaving Taehyung alone. Will you give me a way, please? You flinched at his voice, who was standing behind you. Were they waiting? Will you hurt him? What kind of father you are? Why you people are so selfish. He took out a key and put it in the hole. Taehyung father, if I don't treat him now, then he will act dangerously. He can hurt anyone, even you. He moved the gate, door unlocked, and he stepped in. You forcibly entered too, and couldn't even blink when you saw tubes on Taehyung's head and cuffs around his hands and feet. He was half conscious as his eyelids were moving. Ta, Sean. His mother pushed you outside that you fell on the floor. You tried to stand but couldn't when Taehyung's screams reached to your ears, pacing your heart. Yan, no, don't do that. Crawling towards the door, you hit your hands at it with all your force. To be continued. Thanks for watching. Love you, dear readers.